how you are supposed to define a person or how people should define you. There are many ways in which a person can define you, or there are very many ways in which you can define a person. One of the things that we use to define people is what they have, what they possess, the qualities and the characters they have. Characters and qualities of a person are categorized into two. We have the positive ones and then we have the negative ones. So in most cases, as human beings, we tend to move on the side of the negative ones. But actually, today I'm here to tell you this, that do not allow somebody to define you by what you are not. Let someone define you by what you are. The same effect comes to when you are defining a somebody. When you define someone by what he is not, in a way you are trying to negate that particular person. So what am I saying? Even if you know the attributes of a person, both the negative and the positive, I'm saying this: focus on the positive attributes of a person, the attributes that can build that particular person. Do not allow someone to define you by what you are not. Rather than allow him to define you by what you are. Otherwise, most of you are feeling sad. Most of you are feeling, they feel like they are not well, simply because someone decided to ignore all the positive attributes of that particular person, and then they only focused on the negative things. Someone who values you would never define you by the negative character you have or the negative qualities you have. I mean, in simple terms, someone who values you cannot define you by what you are not, but instead it will define you by what you are. For example, you may not be best academically, but you are very good in the field. So when someone is asked to define you, if someone is a friend of yours who values you, will say, this person, this man is good in the field. He can play football very well. But if that person wants to ruin you, the person will say this man is not good academically. Why did he decide to focus on your academics, which he knows very well that you are not doing well, simply because he wants to exclude you, or he wants to negate your life and prevents you from some opportunities. There are things that someone has. By the way, you cannot be everything at the same time. For example, you cannot be tall and short at the same time. So when someone is asked about you, then he talks about you not being tall or not being short, then that person decided to focus on what you are not, rather than what you are. For example, if you decide to judge a fish by its inability to climb a tree, the fish will live entire life thinking of its inability. If you want to promote the fish, if you want to make the fish feel good, can you judge it by its ability to swim across the oceans, across the sea, across the rivers? That is its ability. So when you are talking with a person, discussing a person, giving an attribute of a person, or maybe you are a referee to somebody, then you are being called by a given company to describe that particular person. Keep the positive things about that person, leave the negative things about that person. So if you find a person upset, make sure you only focus on the good side of that particular person. After all, even if you go to a shop, there are very many things being sold in a shop, but you always focus on the things that you want. You can go to a shop, they sell very many things, but you can go there, buy your soap or your sugar, what you want. You leave the others that you don't want, simply because you should only focus on what you want from a person, from a shop, or everywhere else. Let's learn to focus on what the person has, not what he doesn't have. Just pick the best from a person. When you see your parents, see the best in them. Your friends, see the best in them. Your children or your colleagues, always pick the best character that can define and promote them and make them feel good. So, defining someone by what they are not, rather than what they are, is a form of negativity and exclusion. It involves describing a person in terms of characteristics, qualities, and attributes that they lack, rather than those they possess. It is more meaningful to define individuals based on their positive attributes, values, actions, and their accomplishments. It is more meaningful, or it makes life more meaningful to always describe that particular person by what they possess, what they are. Rather than coincide, you start focusing on what they lack. Let me compare these two people. In the world of football and in the world of athletics. If I talk about football, there must be that particular player that comes to mind. For me, who comes to my mind is a man from Portugal called Ronaldo. He's a good footballer. When I talk about athletics, you know who comes to my mind? A man called Kipchoge from Kenya. So the two are generals, but from various fields of life. Kipchoge is a good athlete. Ronaldo is a good footballer. If you describe Ronaldo on its inability to run a marathon race, you are negating Ronaldo. You are excluding him from being good. And also, if you describe Kipchoge by its inability to play football in the field, then you are excluding Kipchoge for no reason. Yet, he has his own field that he can do well. Let's describe Kipchoge by how well he can run. Let's describe Ronaldo by how well he plays football. By that, we will make life more meaningful. Let's not focus on the things that do not make our lives good. So, because, look at the example. I may not be coming from a wealthy family, but I'm coming from a learned family. Why do you focus on things I don't have? For example, on things that makes me, look less. See, he comes from a learned family, not from a family that is not wealthy, a poor family. You are negating me. Focus on the attributes I only possess. For example, again, somebody may not be rich, but he is very honest. Say, this person is honest. Don't tell us he's not rich. No, we are not asking about what he's not. We are asking about what he is. He is honest. What someone possesses makes that person more valuable with life. So let's learn to be describing people by what they are, rather than what they are not. Let's define people by what they are. We forget about what they are not. In our various fields, there are places we are strong, there are places that we are weak. So focus on our strength. Focus on our areas we are strong at. Lion is the king of the jungle, but not in the ocean. If you take a lion to the ocean, it will not be the leader there. There is another one there who is the leader. So in our own areas, we are the leaders, not where we are not. So that is it. Do not ever feel bad because someone described you by what you are not. Feel good, because going forward, we are going to describe you by what you are. We will forget the things that you are not. This is Ambassador. You can call me Sir Alex. Thank you.